The mysterious house at the end of the street. Once upon a time, in a small town called Everdale, there was a street named Willow Lane. It was a quiet, peaceful street where everyone knew each other. Children played outside, neighbors shared meals, and life was simple and happy. However, at the very end of Willow Lane, there stood an old house that no one dared to enter. The house had tall, black gates covered in ivy, and its windows were always dark. The wooden door was worn out, and the garden was overgrown with wild plants. The townspeople called it the mysterious house. They told stories about strange lights flickering at night and whispered about odd noises coming from inside. But no one had ever seen anyone enter or leave the house in years. One day, a young girl named Emma moved to Everdale with her parents. She was curious and adventurous, always eager to explore new places. The moment she heard about the mysterious house, she knew she had to find out the truth. What if someone lives there? What if they are lonely? Or what if there is a hidden treasure inside? She wondered. Emma decided to investigate. She asked the neighbors about the house, but they only shook their heads and warned her to stay away. Strange things happen there, they said. Better not go near it. But Emma was not afraid. One afternoon, while riding her bicycle past the house, she noticed something unusual. The front door, which was always closed, was slightly open. A gentle breeze made it creak. Emma stopped her bicycle and stared. Should I go inside? She thought. Her heart was beating fast, but curiosity got the better of her. She took a deep breath and stepped through the gate. The path leading to the house was covered in dry leaves, crunching under her feet. As she reached the door, she hesitated for a moment before pushing it open. The door groaned as it revealed a dimly lit hallway covered in dust. Inside, the air smelled old, like books that had not been opened in years. Cobwebs hung in the corners, and the wooden floor creaked with every step. Emma looked around. There were paintings on the walls, their colors faded with time. A grand staircase stood in the center, leading up to the second floor. "Hello?" she called out. No answer. She walked further inside. The living room had a fireplace, and there was an old armchair next to it, as if someone had been sitting there recently. On a small wooden table lay an open book. Emma picked it up. The pages were filled with handwritten notes and sketches of strange symbols. Just as she was about to turn the page, she heard a soft rustling sound behind her. She spun around quickly. A shadow moved near the staircase. "Who's there?" she asked bravely. A small voice replied, "Who are you?" Emma gasped. Out of the shadows stepped a boy about her age. He had messy brown hair and wore old-fashioned clothes, as if he had stepped out of a history book. "I'm Emma. I just moved here. Who are you?" she asked, still holding the book. "I'm Oliver. I live here," he said with a small smile. Emma was shocked. "You live here? But everyone in town says no one has lived in this house for years." Oliver chuckled. "That's because they never come inside. My grandfather and I live here, but we like our privacy. People fear what they don't understand." Emma looked around again. The house was old but not abandoned. There were books, furniture, and even a warm cup of tea on a nearby table. "But why do people say the house is haunted?" Oliver shrugged. "Maybe because we like to keep to ourselves. Sometimes we light lanterns at night when we read. Sometimes the wind makes the house creak. But there's nothing scary here." Emma smiled. "So it's all just rumors?" "Exactly," Oliver grinned. "Would you like to stay for some tea?" Emma hesitated for a moment, then nodded. "I'd love to." That day, Emma and Oliver talked for hours. She learned about his grandfather, who was a retired historian, and how they spent their days reading and writing. Oliver showed her secret rooms filled with ancient books, and they laughed about how silly the town's rumors were. From that day on, Emma visited Oliver often. Eventually, she told the townspeople the truth about the mysterious house. At first, they were doubtful, but as more people met Oliver and his grandfather, the fear disappeared. The house at the end of Willow Lane was no longer mysterious. It became a place of knowledge, stories, and friendship. One day, Oliver invited Emma to see something special. "I want to show you my favorite place in the house," he said. He led her to a hidden door behind the library shelf. Inside was a beautiful room filled with maps, old artifacts, and strange trinkets from all over the world. "My grandfather used to be an explorer," Oliver explained. "These are all the things he collected on his journeys." Emma's eyes widened in amazement. This is incredible. She picked up an old compass and watched as it spun in her hands. As days turned into weeks, Emma and Oliver explored the treasures of the house together. Each artifact had a story, and Oliver's grandfather loved telling them. The more time Emma spent there, the more she realized how special the house was. Eventually, the people of Everdale warmed up to the house at the end of the street. The mysterious house was no longer a place of fear, but a place of wonder. People came to listen to Oliver's grandfather's stories, and children played in the once-forgotten garden. And so, the legend of the mysterious house changed forever, thanks to one brave girl who chose curiosity over fear. Emma's friendship with Oliver brought light to the house, and the house brought magic to the town of Everdale. The end.